Imagine holding a small metal disc in your hand. It feels cool and solid. It might seem like just a simple piece of money, but what if I told you that this little object is a time machine? What if it could tell you stories of great empires, powerful rulers, and forgotten cities? This is the magic of coins. And the coins from the land we now call Turkey hold some of the most amazing stories on Earth. They are not just currency. They are tiny metal history books, each one a witness to the rise and fall of civilizations. They connect us to the past in a very real, tangible way. Think about it. Every time a coin was made, it captured a snapshot of its time. The face stamped on it tells you who was in power. The symbols and writing reveal what people believed in and what language they spoke. The metal itself, gold, silver, or copper, tells you about the wealth of their kingdom. From the very first coin ever minted to the shiny lira in a Turkish market today, these objects trace a continuous line through thousands of years of human drama. The journey of Turkish coins is a journey through the heart of history itself, a tale of innovation, art, and power. This story begins in Anatolia, the vast peninsula that makes up most of modern Turkey. This land is a crossroads, a place where continents and cultures have met and mingled for millennia. Because of this, its history of money is incredibly rich and diverse. It starts not with Turks, but with ancient kings who had a revolutionary idea. An idea that would change the world forever. It continues with Greek philosophers, Roman emperors, Byzantine saints, Seljuk sultans, and Ottoman caliphs. Each group left their mark, stamped into metal for all of time. So let's embark on a space-time odyssey. We will travel back in time, to a world without paper money or credit cards. A world where wealth was something you could hold, something that jingled in your pocket. We will follow the trail of these remarkable artifacts and uncover the secrets they hold. We will see how a simple tool for trade evolved into a powerful symbol of identity and a beautiful work of art. This is more than a story about money. It is the story of humanity, told one coin at a time. Our journey begins over 2,600 years ago, in a kingdom called Lydia. It was located in what is now Western Turkey. The Lydians had a brilliant idea. They took a natural mixture of gold and silver, called electrum, which they found in their rivers. They formed it into small, bean-shaped lumps. Then, they did something revolutionary. They stamped these lumps with a symbol, a roaring lion's head. This was the world's first true coin. It was a guarantee from the king that this piece of metal had a specific weight and value. No more weighing messy gold dust for every transaction. This was a game changer. This amazing invention spread like wildfire. Soon, the Greek city-states all across Anatolia and the Aegean Sea started making their own coins. But instead of just a lion, they put their own symbols on them. They stamped their coins with images of gods and goddesses, mythical creatures, and local animals. An owl represented the wisdom of Athens. A winged horse, Pegasus, flew on the coins of Corinth. These coins were not just money, they were a city's calling card. They were miniature sculptures, pieces of art that advertised a city's power, its beliefs, and its identity to the ancient world. The materials they used were precious. Gold was for the rich and for large payments. It was the metal of kings and empires. Silver was the workhorse of the ancient economy, used by merchants and soldiers for everyday business. A silver drachma could buy a family's food for a day. Then there was bronze, or copper. These were the coins of the people, used for buying a loaf of bread or a cup of wine at the local market. The system was simple but effective, and it laid the foundation for every monetary system that followed. Imagine being a merchant in the ancient city of Ephesus. Your pouch would be filled with these beautiful heavy coins. You might have silver coins from Miletus, showing a lion looking at a star. You might have bronze coins from your own city, featuring a bee, the symbol of the goddess Artemis. Trading these coins was like trading tiny pieces of culture. You were not just exchanging value, you were exchanging stories and symbols from across the known world. This was the beginning of a global economy, all starting with a stamped piece of metal in ancient Anatolia. As we move forward in time, a new power rises, the Roman Empire. The Romans were masters of engineering, law, and conquest, and they understood the power of coins. When they conquered Anatolia, they brought their own currency with them. The faces of the powerful Roman emperors were now stamped on the coins used from the coast of the Aegean to the mountains of the east. Every coin was like a tiny propaganda poster. It proclaimed the emperor's power and authority to every corner of his vast empire. A coin minted in Rome could be spent in a market in Antioch. The Romans built on the Greek system. They used gold coins called the aureus, silver coins called the denarius, and bronze coins like the sestertius. An aureus was worth 25 denarii. This standardized system helped unify the economy of the massive empire. When you saw the face of Augustus or Trajan on a coin, you knew it was legitimate currency, backed by the might of Rome. The coins also showed images of gods, military victories, and famous buildings like the Colosseum. They were a way for the emperor to communicate his successes to his millions of subjects, many of whom could not read. Then the Roman Empire changed. It split into two halves, and the eastern half, with its capital at Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul, became the Byzantine Empire. This new Christian empire needed a new kind of coin. The faces of the pagan Roman gods disappeared. In their place, images of Jesus Christ, the Virgin Mary, and Christian saints appeared. The most important symbol of all was the cross, which was stamped on countless Byzantine coins. The emperor was still there, but now he was often shown as a servant of God, holding a cross or a globe topped with a cross. The Byzantines perfected the gold coin, called the solidus. For nearly 700 years, the solidus was the most trusted and stable currency in the entire world. It was known as the dollar of the Middle Ages. Its purity and weight were incredibly consistent. Merchants from Europe to India knew and trusted the Byzantine solidus. These coins were so famous that other kingdoms, even those who were enemies of the Byzantines, would copy their designs. The coin was more than just money. It was a symbol of cosmic order, with God in heaven and the emperor as his representative on earth. Our space-time ship now travels to the 11th century. A new people ride out of the vast steppes of Central Asia. They are the Seljuk Turks. They were fierce warriors who converted to Islam and conquered huge territories, including most of Anatolia. When they established their own empire, the Sultanate of Rum, they brought profound changes to the land and to the coins in people's pockets. The faces of emperors and the images of Christian saints vanished. A new style of coinage, based on Islamic tradition, began to take hold. This was a monumental shift in the story of money. Islamic tradition generally discourages the depiction of human or animal figures in religious contexts. So, the Seljuk coins looked very different from the Roman and Byzantine ones that came before. Instead of a portrait of a ruler, the coins were covered in beautiful Arabic script. This script, known as calligraphy, was itself an art form. The inscriptions on the coins usually declared the faith. There is no God but God, and Muhammad is his messenger. They also included the name of the ruler, his titles, and the name of the city and year the coin was minted. This made them incredibly valuable historical documents. The main silver coin of the Seljuks was the dirham. These coins were often thin and broad, providing a large canvas for the calligrapher's art. Sometimes, alongside the script, they would include geometric patterns, like stars or interlocking squares. These designs reflected the beauty and complexity found in Islamic art and architecture. A few rare Seljuk coins did feature images, sometimes borrowing from older traditions. For instance, some coins of Sultan Kaykusra II famously showed a lion and a sun, which may have been a reference to his wife or his astrological sign. These exceptions are fascinating puzzles for historians. Using these coins felt different. You were not looking at the face of a distant emperor. You were holding a declaration of faith and a statement of political power. The ruler's name connected the coin to the earthly authority of the Sultan. The religious phrases connected it to the divine authority of God. Every transaction, from buying a carpet in Konya to paying a soldier's wage, was done with these coins that constantly reinforced the cultural and religious identity of the Seljuk state. It was a new world, and the coins were its metallic voice. Now, we leap forward again to the rise of one of the greatest empires in world history, the Ottoman Empire. For over 600 years, the Ottomans ruled a vast territory that stretched from North Africa to the Middle East and deep into Europe. Their capital, Istanbul, was the center of the world. And, well, their coins reflected their immense power and wealth. The Ottomans created a complex and fascinating monetary system. They minted beautiful gold coins called the Sultani, silver coins known as the Akçe, and a variety of copper coins for small change. These coins tell the story of an empire at its zenith. Early Ottoman coins, like the silver akçe, were small and simple, continuing the Seljuk tradition of using only script. But as the empire grew richer and more powerful, so did its coins. The Sultani gold coin, first introduced by Sultan Mehmed the Conqueror after he captured Constantinople, was designed to compete with the famous Venetian ducat. It was, a statement of economic power. On one side, it had the Sultan's name and the date of his accession to the throne. On the other, it had his tughra, a stunningly complex calligraphic signature that was a unique work of art for each sultan. The tughra is one of the most beautiful features of Ottoman coinage. It was more than just a signature, it was the official seal of the sultan. It combined the sultan's name, his father's name in Turak Kakasin Sasidin Gumbafrendenji, and the title, Khan, along with the phrase the eternally victorious. Every tughra was a masterpiece of design, with swirling lines and elegant curves. Seeing it on a coin was an undeniable mark of imperial authority. These coins circulated across 3 continents, carrying the Sultan's personal emblem into the markets of Cairo, the ports of Algiers, and the towns of the Balkans. They were a constant reminder of the Sultan's reach. The Ottoman Mint in Istanbul was a massive operation, producing millions of coins. The designs became more elaborate over time, especially in the 18th and 19th centuries, influenced by European Baroque and Rococo styles. You started to see wreaths, flowers, and other decorative elements surrounding the tughra and inscriptions. The story of Ottoman coins is one of incredible artistic evolution, mirroring the empire's own journey from a small Anatolian principality to a global superpower. Holding an Ottoman gold coin is like holding a piece of imperial splendor in the palm of your hand. Our journey now reaches the 20th century, a time of dramatic change. The mighty Ottoman Empire, often called the sick man of Europe, crumbled after World War I. Out of its ashes, a new modern nation was forged, the Republic of Turkey. This new country was founded in 1923 by a visionary leader named Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. He wanted to create a secular, Western-style nation. To do this, everything had to change: the government, the laws, the alphabet, and, of course, the money. The coins of the sultans were replaced by the coins of the Republic. The new coins were a complete break from the past. The beautiful but complex Arabic script and the sultan's tughra were gone. In their place came the new Turkish alphabet, which used Latin letters, just like English. This made the coins easier for everyone to read and symbolized Turkey's turn towards the West. The main unit of currency was named the lira, and it was divided into 100 kurush. The designs were simple and clear, featuring the name of the country, Türkiye Cumhuriyeti, the value of the coin, and the year it was minted. One image, above all others, came to define the new currency: the portrait of Ataturk himself. His face appeared on many of the coins and banknotes, representing the new era and the father of the nation. This was a return to the ancient tradition of putting a leader's portrait on coins, but with a modern republican meaning. It was not the face of a divine emperor or a caliph, but the face of a president, a symbol of national unity and progress. The coins no longer spoke of empire and religion, but of sovereignty and national pride. Over the decades, Turkish coins have continued to evolve. In 2005, after a period of high inflation, Turkey relaunched its currency. They knocked 6 zeros off the old lira, creating the new Turkish lira, or Yeni Türk lirası. In 2009, the new was dropped, and it just became the Turkish lira again. Today's coins are bimetallic, like the 1 lira coin, which has a brass ring around a copper-nickel center. They feature images of Ataturk, as well as symbols of Turkish culture and science, like the geometric patterns of the architect Mimar Sinan or the floral motifs of the Seljuks. They are honestly a bridge connecting Turkey's modern identity with its deep historical roots. The long and winding history of Turkish coins is filled with fascinating stories and strange facts. It's not just a story of economics, it's a story of human ingenuity, intrigue, and sometimes even mistakes. For instance, some of the rarest and most valuable coins are those with errors. Imagine a coin die, the stamp used to make the coin, cracking during production. The crack would appear as a raised line on every coin it struck. To a collector, this die crack error makes the coin unique and highly desirable. It's a perfect imperfection, a ghost in the machine. One of the most famous stories involves that strange Seljuk coin with the lion and sun. The Sultan, Khusraw II, was deeply in love with his Georgian wife, Tamar. The story goes that he wanted to put her beautiful face on a coin, but his advisors warned him that this was against Islamic tradition. So, as a compromise, he used symbols instead. He used a sun, symbolizing his wife, often associated with beauty and light, rising over a lion, symbolizing himself, the king. It was a clever and romantic way to bend the rules and immortalize his love on the kingdom's currency. Coin collecting, or numismatics, is a serious hobby for many people in Turkey and around the world. Some collectors spend their entire lives trying to find one specific coin to complete their set. One of the holy grails for collectors of Ottoman coins is the first gold sultani minted by Mehmed the Conqueror. These coins are incredibly rare and represent a pivotal moment in history, the transformation of the Ottoman state into a true empire. Finding one is like finding a lost treasure, a direct link to the man who conquered Constantinople. Another curiosity from the Ottoman era was the debasement of currency. Sometimes, when the empire was short on cash, especially during long and expensive wars, the government would secretly reduce the amount of precious metal in the coins. They would mix more copper into the silver akçe, for example. People were not easily fooled. They would weigh the coins and refuse to accept the lighter, debased ones. This often led to economic chaos and even rebellions. The coins, in this case, tell a story of an empire in crisis. The way coins are made has changed just as much as their designs. If we could travel back to ancient Lydia, we would see a craftsman at work in a noisy, smoky workshop. He would place a blank piece of metal, a planche, onto a sturdy anvil. This anvil would have one side of the coin's design carved into it, the obverse die. Then he would take a punch, carved with the other side of the design, the reverse die, place it on top of the planche, and strike it with a heavy hammer. Boom! A coin is born. This hand-striking method was used for thousands of years. This ancient process meant that no two coins were ever exactly alike. The strike might be off-center. The pressure might be uneven. The shape of the planche itself was often irregular. This is what gives ancient and medieval coins their unique charm and character. You can feel the human touch in every one of them. During the Ottoman period, this process became more refined, but it was still fundamentally based on manual labor. The mint in Istanbul employed hundreds of workers, each with a specific task in the long chain of coin production, from melting the metal to striking the final piece. The Industrial Revolution changed everything. In the 19th century, the Ottomans, eager to modernize, imported steam-powered coin presses from Europe. These massive machines could produce coins with incredible speed and precision. Instead of a hammer blow, the dies were pressed together with immense, uniform force. This created perfectly round coins with sharp, detailed designs and milled edges to prevent people from shaving off precious metal. The age of the machine-made coin had arrived, and the era of charmingly irregular hand-struck coins was coming to an end. Today, the Turkish state mint uses fully automated, computer-controlled presses. It's a universe away from the Lydian hammer and anvil. Giant coils of metal are fed into machines that punch out thousands of blank planches per minute. These blanks are then heated, cleaned, and polished before being fed into the coining press. The dies strike with surgical precision, producing millions of identical coins every day. While we may have lost the individual character of hand-struck coins, we have gained a level of efficiency and security that ancient kings could only have dreamed of. As our journey through time comes to an end, we are left with a profound realization. The story of Turkish coins is far more than a local history. It is a story that has echoed across the cosmos of human civilization. The simple idea born in Lydia, a guaranteed piece of valued metal, was one of the most important inventions in human history. It laid the foundation for trade, for banking, for empires, and for the global economy we live in today. Without that first Lydian lion, our world would look very, very different. The coins of this land have been a constant bridge between East and West. Roman coins brought Latin and the emperor's face deep into Asia. Byzantine coins carried the image of Christ and the Greek language to the merchants of the Silk Road. Ottoman coins, with their elegant Arabic script and the Sultan's tughra, were used in markets from Budapest to Baghdad. For millennia, the money minted in Anatolia has been a medium of exchange, not just for goods, but for ideas, art, and culture. It is a testament to the region's enduring role as a crossroads of the world. This legacy continues today. When a tourist in Istanbul buys a souvenir, they might pay with a coin that features a portrait of Ataturk on one side and a traditional Turkish design on the other. That single coin is a microcosm of the nation's entire history. It holds the echo of the Republican Revolution, the artistic heritage of the Ottomans, and a connection to a land that has been a center of civilization for thousands of years. It is a symbol of a modern nation that is proud of its deep and complex past. So, the next time you hold a coin in your hand, any coin, take a moment to really look at it. Think of it not as just money, but as a time capsule. It is a carrier of stories, a messenger from a specific moment in time and space. The coins of Turkey, from the ancient electrum lion to the modern bimetallic lira, tell one of the grandest of these stories. They are a glittering metallic thread that ties together the epic saga of emperors and sultans, of art and faith, and of the endless human quest for order and prosperity.